Hey guys, today we're going to make the base of a catapult, and as you can see in front of me I have a triangular prism and it's made out of popsicle sticks and packing tape. So I need you to follow along as we build this structure. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create 3 triangles, and yes, you're going to need 3 of these, so make sure that you're following directions and we do it right. And in order to do that, I am going to grab 3 popsicle sticks, and I'm going to need 3 pieces of tape. And the easiest way to do that is to look at your table and make sure that you're paying attention to the simple things. One is on your table there will be a piece of guide tape. It's 2 inches long. This will help you cut your packing tape to the correct length. It's okay if it's a little longer, but if you make it insanely short, it just won't work correctly. So make sure that you use the correct length of tape as you're cutting, and you should have a tape box of packing tape or whatnot. This is mine, and the easiest way to do that is to grab the tape, pull it out, and make sure it's the correct length, and I'll eyeball it. It doesn't have to be. If you notice, I'm going to use that guide tape underneath to make it right, and I'm going to cut it and pull it off, and it's going to be the right way. So like I said, I just want it a little longer. That's fine, and I'm going to put it aside, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to cut a piece, and I'm going to set it aside. I stick mine on the edge of the table. It just makes it work better. You obviously can't see it, but it just makes it easier if you're grabbing 3 pieces of tape. And I'll stop. And I can cut more, but I always say don't go overboard when you're doing this, because all you're doing is making 3 triangles, and do it one at a time. So I have my 3 sticks, and remember, when you're taping them together, they need to be as tight as possible. They also have to be parallel. If they're like obtuse or acute, it's obviously not the best angle. I want them to be parallel to each other, or basically in a straight line segment. So make sure that you're doing this. Then I will take a piece of tape and place it on the table. Mine is going to be sticky side up, smooth, and the non-stick is down. I will take 1 stick, I will eyeball it, I'll put it in the middle the best I can. And like I said, just try your best. It's okay if it's not perfect, because we're not looking for perfection. We just want it to work and become a strong structure. I'll stick the next one down, and see, as they are, they're taped together. Make sure it's nice and strong, and then I'm going to fold one side and tape it, and I'm going to put some pressure on it, make sure the tape is sticking. Keep rolling it, roll it, and I'm done with 2 of them stuck together. Obviously, we're missing a 3rd side to our triangle. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to grab a 3rd stick, put it aside, make sure they're parallel. You don't want them obtuse or acute. You want them to be nice and parallel. I'll grab another piece of tape and lay it on the table and make sure it's all working. I will stick 1 piece of tape down. I will grab another piece of stick and stick it down. Obviously it's not in the middle, but that's not going to hurt anything. Don't worry about all that. You're just trying to line them up. That's why we have a long piece of tape. And then I'm going to fold one side, fold it again until it gets to where it needs to be, and here I go. Now I have 3 sticks that are stuck together, but I need to create a triangle, and this one you have to pay attention with, because if you get in a hurry, this joint between these 2 will get all messed up. And the best way for me to do that is to stick it on the table again, and I'm going to take my stick, line it up, and fold each side to where it's touching the table, and I'll use my fingers to hold it still, and then I'll fold it up. Now, you can also just put 1 piece of tape on, fold it over, and fold the tape again. Now, the hard part is when you're folding this tape, you need to make sure it's very, very stuck together, on your edges. And when it's perfect, the way you want it, I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to snip a little bit. If you go too far, you're obviously going to ruin your joint, so don't mess your joint up. And then I'm going to fold it, and fold it, fold it, and fold it. You just want it to get it in there. If you don't have to cut those little slits in there if you don't want to, it just makes it a little cleaner. Obviously, if you make a mistake, you're going to make this joint really loose. So don't go crazy and start cutting it. Or just don't cut it at all. If you cannot, your dexterity or your eyesight just doesn't line up right, don't cut it, just fold it to where it's nice and pretty. And because I'm wanting it to be the best I can, I've got one triangle. And you're going to get 3 of these made. And obviously here I have 3 that are already made. Remember, you can rewind the video, go back and forth, find the best way. Just make sure that you stop and pause as you go. Don't be in a rush. Just follow directions and you can make your triangle. So I've got 3 of them now already made. And this is where I didn't cut the edges and it still works. I just cut it this one because that's what I wanted to do. And I need to make them all stick together. Now pay attention when you're sticking your triangles together. If you tape them like this and there's no joint to it, there will be no flex in your triangle, and that would not work. So I'm going to use this to show you and explain why you have to do it the correct way. And watch. Don't cheapen out and do this the wrong way because it's just going to be a lot of work. Okay, you're going to grab your tape, you'll pull it out. Now if I tape it laying flat like this, watch, I said this is the wrong way, so you're not doing this. It won't flex. And if you see my triangle right here, it has gaps between it. Here they're not, and which means when I try to get it to tape together, it's going to be a pain and it's going to rip and tear. So do not tape them together in this manner. This is the wrong way, and you're going to cause yourself some issues. That's also why I used manila tape, because I can peel it off easier. Now, the correct way to do that is to take one triangle and grab a piece of tape that's as long as your marker tape on the table, which is about 2 inches, and you're going to just stick it on one stick. Okay, that's all it is, just one. Okay, then you're going to grab another triangle and you're going to match them up to each other's side. This will allow yours to work out. And then I'm going to wrap it. And this will allow everything to be nice and strong and to flex. Okay? So now I have my base that is all taped together. It has flex and it's very, very strong. And I'm going to do that again with my third triangle. I'm going to line it up to where I know it's right. Or if it makes it easier on you, you're making a trapezoid. Okay? So make sure it's lined up. I'm going to fold it over to where it all works. And I'm going to get a piece of tape, as long as my manila tape, because I don't need it to be that long. And make sure it's lined up. I've got a trapezoid, double checking myself, because once it's taped, it's really hard to get apart. Line it up. And take your packing tape, stick it between 2 of them, and then wrap. So now you have a trapezoid that's very, very, very strong, and it's not wanting to flex a lot, and that's what I want, is that little bit of flex. Not there. Okay, still moving. If I lay it flat, I got a trapezoid, I'm going to come up, and now I need to join this last section of our trapezoid. So I'm going to pull out my tape, make sure it's as long as that 2-inch marker tape. I'm going to line my edges up. I'm going to hold my triangle. I'm going to take my tape and line it up, press it. I'm going to crease it nice and well, make sure it's in there. Wrap one side and see how it's a nice long tail. Okay, I'm going to now wrap it and keep wrapping it. I like that gap there. You don't want to tape it like this, or you're going to put a lot of stress on your joints and you might rip it. And now I have a pretty sturdy base for my Catapult, and it's not flexing at all, and I like that. That means if you build it loose and your tape joints aren't very tight like this one, it's just falling apart. I mean, mine, I can't push on it. It's doing exactly what a triangular structure will do. If you are loose on it, I mean, you can just push it down and it's just got a lot of flex in it. I mean, you can see how it flexes if you don't get your tape tight. On mine, the tape is nice and pretty. It is pretty strong, and I can even reinforce it by going in and adding more tape, but I'm already stronger than some. So this is your triangular base. This is what we are completing for stage 1 of our project. So make sure that you're paying attention to when you're taping it. I know I cut my edges, don't have to do that. It will still make it strong. You can always reinforce it with more tape, but realize we still have to add a straw to it to make our pendulum mechanism work correctly. So there you go. This is what you're doing. You're building the triangular prism, which is the base of your Catapult. Make sure that you follow through our directions and you just take your time and rewind when necessary.